This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
All right, everybody, how you doing? Captain Jack here with my awesome pirate shipmate, OG Daniel. Over there, we are watching on Captain Jack Rackham's feed on Instagram. We are pushing this out via various Facebook sites. If you're watching on Facebook, I ask you, please. If you're watching on Instagram, I ask you, please come over to YouTube, either at Captain Jack Rackham or Chronicles of the Black Hole. Captain Jack Rackham or Chronicles of the Black Hole. This production will also be seen on Roku TV, so I'd like to remind people, and I have it up here for everybody, for make sure that we all know, although I actually swore on Instagram, so I'm sorry, but that's not on this show. Not on this show, not on this broadcast. If you are watching a broadcast on Roku TV, please watch your language. Please watch your language.
You might want to leave that sign up.
Yeah, I do leave it up, except when there's comments, so it will always be there. Remember, if you want to watch or listen to me swear, then you need to catch me either on an extended show or catch me over at Docs ENT. That's Graphic Raiders channel. Docs ENT. I will swear my tookus off. So there you go. Daniel, how you doing there, shipmate? Good to hear from you, man.
Doing good, man. Doing really good. Needed that victory this week, but it's been a rough week. It's been pretty somber. We lost two great Raiders this past week with Bruce Davis and John Madden. And so tonight we're going to give a tribute to John Madden. I think I'd like to see if we could, I don't know, unless you've got a lot of information, save up for Bruce Davis for another show. Give him his own tribute,
Yes, we can. Hey, turn your stuff down on your end so they don't hear the echo of this old salty geezer.
Hold on, let me. Every time I go on your channel, this happens. Hold on.
I got you. Yeah, it's okay. It's called growing pains as well. So that's it. And Jack Kenna, thank you. I took, or actually I was afforded a tribute to John Madden. That was a portion of the show that we do on Wednesday night, which is the NFL Nation Live. That portion, that was the slideshow I put in. Plus, I had some cut up pictures that I put in as well over the music. So I want to thank the Ref Guru, David Grant, for the slideshow portion, and then of course I did some more photos that put into it so that it went through. But thank you for that as well. So I gotta give other credit where credit is due.
Sinister Rain 89 graphic sent me.
Okay, there you go. Who is this?
Sinister. Wait, you have to scroll up a little.
Okay. Yeah, let's see here. I got Knock Andrew, Valerie. Good to see you. Oh, Sinister Rain. Yes. Got to see Sinister Rain. Thank you, there, shipmate. And yeah. Hey, Salty Geezer, no G from my boy Ed Winchell. Ed, we still got to talk, brother. We still got to talk. Doc said he's coming over. That's great. Kelly Farley's in the house as well, as is Valerie. Love my V girls, Valerie and Vicky, and Vanessa. And if you want to be a V girl, just change your, or Velvet Raider is actually a V girl with the V. So I love my V wenches as well. Love them. Kelly Farley's honorary. It's Kelly B. Farley. All the girls that are here. Dirty Raider over there at Instagram. Thank you for being over here, shipmate. If you can, please head on over to YouTube, and we'll get as many comments as we can. We got the man, Terrence Carty, who will push. That's why I said you got to watch on YouTube, because he will push all of the channels, both my channel as well as OG's channel, Chronicles of the Black Hole. Jason, we will talk about that maybe later. We might be able to do it, but we'll be able to do that at another time. That's definitely a hot topic, but we are going to give as much time as we can to the great coach and icon John Madden. So if we don't get to it, that's okay. Wild Turkey, thank you for being in here. And remember, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please, Captain Jack Rackham and Chronicles of the Black Hole. I think Terrence Carty will probably be showing because that's what he does. He's awesome like that. And if you also want to pop into the show and give some support, you can do that via on my channel. Unfortunately, you can't do it on Chronicles. But if you want to support the production, you go to my channel, and every time you give a $5 donation via super chat or super sticker, you are entered into a prize, which we do every time I get like 25 people plus 5 extras. We give a prize. I will tell you what we're doing there. Graphic is in the house. Thank you for doing there, shipmate. He is chugging on iced tea. I know it's iced tea.
Thanks for bringing everyone over, Graph. Appreciate it. Yeah. I say let's do this.
Okay. Well, let's barring anything further, let's get the graphic man on here as well, right here. So let me change some backgrounds here to help us out a little bit. Graphic, how you doing? Sure. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys too. I got about 30 minutes, man. I was like, I got to come talk with my brothers real quick, man.
Okay. Got it. Well, we were going to talk a little bit about the coaching, because that special that they put on Fox, he only talked about his coaching for 6 minutes, which a lot of people complained about. They didn't want to put any flowers near the Raiders. And then they went into the commentary, but we also need some guys who know the video game. And that's, I like to have younger guys like yourself and Raider Joe come in and talk about that portion of it. We need your help on that one, because we don't know it. So let's get right to the coaching. Let's get right to it. Okay, John Madden. He took over as our head coach in 1969 at the age of 32 years old. Okay. We won 12 games, lost one, and tied one. We came in first in the AFL Western. That's what they called it. And we lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFL Championship. 1970, we took first place in the AFC West. This is after the merger, and lost to the Baltimore Colts. 71, we had a good record, took second in the AFC West, but we didn't get in. 72, we went 10-3-1, first in the AFC West. We lost to Pittsburgh in the divisional round. 73, we went 9-4-1. We were first in the AFC West, lost to the Miami Dolphins in the AFC Championship game. Oakland, 1974, we were 12-2, first in the AFC West, lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Squealers on the AFC Championship game. 75, 11-3, first in the AFC West, lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC Championship game. See, John Madden took us where we were getting there, as you can tell, year after year after year.
Actually, may I interject? This is a good portion to do that. Is that every year that the coach was there, you know, by the way, the Raiders went to took the AFC West 5 straight times, just since eclipsed by Kansas City with 6. But for all of those times at the beginning, like from the end of the 60s through 75, the Raiders either went to the AFC Championship game or were eliminated by the team that eventually won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
right.
He was there, and it always got him pissed off that everybody would keep telling him, "You can't win the big one. You can't win the big one. You can't win the big one." And it drove him, and it drove the team because they kept hitting that mark where they were the best team in football. And to be honest, they've even stated, and they've had the people that have showed that the team, a couple of John Madden's teams were the best team in football.
Yes,
easily. And they,
but you could always see the frustration on his face when he didn't win that game. You know,
but
it was getting worse and worse.
But the thing, OG, is once and I know we'll talk about it later on, but once we overcame that hump, we never looked back.
Yep, 1976, we went 13-1. We lost to the New England, or the Boston Patriots or New England Patriots.
No, they were New England at the time, New England Patriots.
Right, and we got into the playoffs, and first game we did was blow them up, and we went on to win Super Bowl 11 against the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
And the following year, we were back in it again, but we lost to the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game. But the thing is,
on a crap call. It
was garbage. You're right. But out of all those years, we made it to these championship games 8 times in 10 years.
Yeah.
We had one of the most, he's the winningest coach in NFL history. His percentages was 75.9 or?
Yeah, 75.9, practically 76%.
Yeah. But he got us to our first Super Bowl that we won.
Mm-hmm. The GOAT, man. The GOAT.
And then, it was like, this guy was a great coach. Nobody's ever said a bad thing about him. Like, this team loved him. Everybody loved this guy except for the teams we had to face. Pittsburgh hated him. But
can I ask you guys real quick, because you guys were there. You seen those teams. I know John Madden was like the players' coach. He commanded respect. But what was his strengths wise, like football wise? Like what made him who he was on the field, not in the locker room, if that makes any sense? Like, what was his strengths football wise? Is it play calling? I mean, what was it in your guys' eyes that made John Madden such a legend as a coach, not as an announcer, not as a video game guy, as a coach?
Some of the most famous plays in NFL history were created by John Madden, and they are still legendary plays today.
I like that.
Well, actually, that, and it was even talked about when he was put into the Hall of Fame by Mr. Al Davis. He said, when you think of the Raiders and John Madden, it was the play. Sea of Hands, Goes to the Pose, the Heidi game.
Holy Roller.
He said it in the speech, Holy Roller. John Madden was there. And the thing that I said, remember, John Madden was he was a young coach after a small career as basically a junior college and college coach, taken by the Raiders for 2 years as their linebacker coach. When John Roush lost Super Bowl II, and basically Roush had enough of Al Davis. I'm being very honest here. He asked to be released. He asked Madden. He said, "Hey, do you want to come with me?" And John was like, "Well," and he's from that area. He's like, "No, I want to stick around." So it was Al Davis himself. He was 32 years old. He was 33 by the time he coached his first game. But at 32 years of age, he was asked to coach Oakland Raiders by Al Davis because Al saw how much study he had. He was meticulous. You're talking about the things that he had. He was exuberant. He was forceful. He got after the referees. He had fantastic players that would run through walls for him. And the best thing about it is his assistant coaches were the offensive-minded people, were the defensive-minded people. He knew how to get the most out of his staff and players. That was his strength.
Hey, put up top beats real quick, because that was the answer I was looking for. Because that's the answer I had, was his adjustments.
Yes.
Like, if you go back and watch John Madden's games, like I went back and watched a lot of shit, and the way not a lot of coaches can adjust like that. Like, Madden made it look easy. It looked like two different games. You know what I'm saying? If you're losing
two different teams.
Bro, like, you would come out and you'd be down 14 at the half, and we come out and look like an entirely different team. So, like, that speaks volumes of who John Madden was. You know,
be down 20 in the third quarter and come back and win
it. Yeah, facts. So shout out to Top Beats. That was the exact answer I was looking for. I mean, there's a lot of right answers for that question. Don't get me wrong, but it was adjustments, because he was a monster, man. The way he called games was just superior, bro.
Jack Kenna, if you do, you have to go over to the Captain's channel, and when we put up that link, I'd love to have you come on, Jack Kenna. I've never seen you come on live.
Oh, he came on once before, and it was a pleasure talking with him. So,
all right. Well, if you're on the Captain's, go to the Captain's channel, because that's where we can put the link in after we get done with this whole thing. But yeah, if you want to talk about John Madden more, which I'm sure you do, Jack, you're an old guy like us.
Not old.
Who said?
You're ancient.
Who said?
Okay. I just look old. That's all.
Yeah, Jack, be honored to have you on. But okay, so then,
hey, if Cap cut his beard off, like, real shit, he'd be out here looking like a Hollywood celebrity. Like, I'm just letting y'all know, like, he actually is like a fucking soup. Like, he cuts the beard off, and then he looks like a Marvel character.
We have to watch our language. We're on Roku TV. We're on Roku. Put it up.
Like I say, Eric, just for you.
Here we go.
You are watching on Roku TV. Please watch your language.
I didn't see it.
You didn't know. Yeah, we're on Roku TV, bro.
My apologies.
That's fine. And well, I didn't swear, and OG didn't swear. But when I do the cut-ups, I'll have to take that out for the sound. But we are, like I said, this will be broadcast on Roku TV on Friday evening, 9:00 Eastern. We watch our shows either live on Roku or live tape, but we do these stuff live, and we love everything we got for you. And I look like Captain. I look like Jack Black.
Another one.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, and again, I just like, there was so many different, like you said, it was the motivation. It was that the players would run through walls for him. It was the fact that he did do the things because he was meticulous
and passionate
in his game planning and passionate. So if there was something that was wrong, but it was him working with his coaching staff that said, "Hey, John, we've seen this," and he would take that advice and input from the people for him. And it was like it was really team. Everybody putting the thing together to make the team better.
He'd also listen to his players when somebody would say, "Coach, I'm wide open. Give it to me. And the very next play, go to him. And who was it that said that? He said, I dropped the ball, and I really wished he didn't throw it to me again. but I forgot who it was. One of our character players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he listened to the players.
Hey, have you guys heard anything? And this is just off subject, but it's still Madden. Has anybody heard anything about a memorial or his funeral services? Like what's going on? I haven't heard anything yet.
I haven't heard anything.
I honestly think that the family is probably, and this is only conjecture on my part, but I think the family is keeping that close hold so that it would be something private for the folks that that they want there. Because as soon as they put that information out,
it's crazy.
Yeah. It will be like, and I mean this when I say this, it will be something like the Elvis funeral, the Muhammad Ali funeral. There will be people lining up for it. Now, if they want that to happen, they will make it happen. So be aware that information may come out, but right now I believe it's close hold, and the family is taking the arrangements so they can figure things out if they are going to make it a bigger event. I do know that probably gravesite will just be for family, close friends, and the greater cadre and Hall of Famers. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you were going to have something that was public, the Legion ain't big enough.
Yeah. Oh, dang.
It ain't big enough.
A Legion. That's
right.
But you know what? There's nothing big enough for Madden, though. I mean,
no. That man did so much for football, not just as a coach, but as a commentator, and then the video game. You're talking about 50 years of people who know his name. Yeah. There's teenagers right now who know Madden's game.
I hope that COVID doesn't put a stop on the public, like us being able to go pay our last respects. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've done, this is our second Madden show. So at the end of the day, we're going to pay our respects regardless. I mean, to a legend and the greatest. But I hope, man, that they do have an open one, a public one where we all can show up and pay our respects in person. That would be beautiful, man. Because, to see the nation under one roof for Madden would be insane, man. That would be a beautiful thing, man. For real.
Yeah.
And Jack, we will be pushing it in a minute. I apologize. I got to get rid of all of these trolls and bots as well. So apologies there. I'm like a one-legged man in a kicking contest. So I got a lot of bots and trolls that I've got going on. So
yeah.
Hey, that means you're doing something good, Cap.
Well, it's us, and I do want to say as well, and I obviously we got you here because you're young and you do video games there, Grad. So what we want to make sure we glean that. But one other thing that I want to say while we all are here is the fact when John stepped away from coaching, he didn't really have a vision, or I should say he didn't have vision, but he didn't really see what would transpire immediately afterwards. In fact, they liked his exuberance, they being Madison Avenue and the advertising people. Mm-hmm. And by the way, you got to get the books because I don't do it justice. And here's something, people. They're called books. Go get them and read them. Okay? Just paid for political announcement. Reading is fundamental. Go get the Madden books. In the Madden books, it says, he was going to be with Virginia. He had given 10 years to the Raiders coaching, plus actually 2 more, so 12. He was going to sit down with his wife, and they kept bugging him and said, "Hey, man, we love your art. We love the fact you're exuberant. You would be perfect for the ad campaign that we want for Miller Lite." And they goaded him. They said, "Come to New York, do a screen test. If you don't like it, that's fine, but come to New York and do the screen test." So this is after he got out of coaching, and he did promise Al Davis he would never coach another team, and he kept that because he
said that loudly though. He said it. I would never coach another team other than the Raiders.
Right.
You know what I mean? So regardless, he was a Raider to the T.
Right, but he developed an ulcer, and his doctor kind of nudged him away from it too.
Yeah. What was the first Madden beer? Bud Light, was that the one where he kicked the wall in like the Kool-Aid man?
He busted through the wall.
He busted through the walls, and then at the end of the commercial, you guys got to watch these on YouTube. At the very end of the commercial, he actually busted the screen because he busted two things. He busted through, and then he busted in again. It's like, hey, I'm not even done with the commercial yet. You know, like one of those type of things. But it was great. It was great, and he found that was something that he really dug. And so he did those commercials, and he had a new cadre of people. The old players or the that were no longer playing, you know, that was, he got into that second family. He started doing the commercials, basically Miller Lite, which got him into other commercials, you know, Tough Actin' Tinactin and all those things like that. But the commercials, and if it wasn't for the commercials, if it wasn't for Miller Lite, we would not know what we know today, because that inspired him to go on to be the broadcasting genius that it was. And if we didn't get the broadcasting genius that we wouldn't have the Madden game. So you got to thank Miller Lite for giving and kind of goading John and pushing John positively in that direction.
But the broadcasting gig, they came to him and asked him if he would do it, and he went, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a try." Like, he didn't even know.
Yeah, but that was after he got the start with the commercials.
Right. But
he always had the personality for all that. Like,
oh yeah,
you know, he always just stood out. Like, anybody ever heard talk about Madden? They always said that any room he was in, he just stood out without even trying. Like, it was just that's who he was. So
he had a bigger than life personality. He was a big guy.
Yeah,
but he made everybody. They said he made everybody feel good about themselves. And when he was got in that broadcast booth, he had some even wilder moments. Yeah. And here's the great part. He was so endearing that, just remember this, every Thanksgiving and every Super Bowl, he was like that happy uncle in your living room who knew what the hell football was about, and he was explaining to you how it worked.
Yeah.
That's why it hurt so bad when he passed for me, because that was like losing a family member.
Definitely.
But my favorite, I don't know who he was doing the broadcast with, but he had the turducken, and he started sticking his hand down into it. And the guy, I forgot who was with.
He had no knife. He just stuck his whole hand in it.
Right, but I forgot who he was broadcasting with, but I saw a man trying his hardest to hide disgust.
Actually, the other thing about that, and you have to remember this, is that Madden was teamed with Pat Summerall. And the reason why he was teamed with Pat Summerall, because I'm really old, according to people, was that Summerall and Tom Brookshire were the A team on CBS. And Tom Brookshire had his troubles with alcoholism. And him and Summerall and Brookshire would drink each other to death, because Brookshire was a Philadelphia Eagle and Summerall was a Giant, so they knew each other through those contests in the old NFL, and they were drinking buddies, and they would go in they'd go into broadcast lit, kind of like, Harry Carey used to do. And
Howard Cosell, Monday night with Dandy Don Darlitz, he was ripped.
Well, that as well. But the thing is that Brookshire had his medical problems because of the alcohol. And so CBS took him off the broadcast. So they said they wanted to make sure, and Summerall took it hard. So CBS paired him or put John with Summerall. And I tell you this, and it's true, the fact that John Madden was paired with Summerall, and he took a keen interest in keeping Pat Summerall alive in the good things to try to get him off of the alcohol. Pat Summerall had many more years because of John Madden.
I believe it.
Didn't John Madden do his eulogy?
Yes, he did. I believe so.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was a kicker, Greg. He was a kicker for the Giants.
Yep.
Pat Summerall. Now, because I know I got to get out of here in a little bit, you guys. I'm going to tell you this.
Talk about the game, man.
The video game, right? So I had all the video games, but I was always the kid that was outside playing football, playing basketball. So all my friends would be in my house playing the game while I'm out there throwing the ball to myself. So I would play Madden. I would play it, and what it meant to the culture, not just football, but just the culture, especially like where I was from, like if you didn't have a lot of money, if you had Madden, it didn't matter. Everybody's at your house. You know what I mean? It didn't matter. Everybody's at your house playing Madden. I've seen people fight, make money, lose money. Like Madden was a huge, huge part of just the culture, period, that I came up from. And I always told everybody, I said this on the last live that we did about Madden, like to watch other teams, like fans play Madden. I always looked at everybody like, you guys are playing a Raider game. You guys are playing a Raider game. You guys love this game so much. You might as well just come over here because this is a Raider game. Like this is the Raiders game. The guy on the cover is a diehard Raider, and he would never coach anybody else but this team. But the game, man, growing up, it was so much because I felt like the development of that game was so ahead of its time back then. Like now there's a lot of glitches and a lot of weird things going on with the game. But back then the game just looked like it just revitalized football games. And to hear Madden's voice on that game, it meant everything to me growing up. You know what I mean? So huge game, the best football game of all time. I mean, I don't really know any other game that you could even come close to it, to be honest.
Well, you know, it takes two. It takes two to play a video game. So it takes two young guys to be in on it. You see how I did that? That's a skillful transition.
I love it.
That is a skillful segue.
Talk that
stuff. There you go.
Joe, what's up, my brother?
How you doing, Graf?
Hey, Joe.
I haven't seen you in a while, man. It's good to see you, brother.
It's good to see you, brother.
Thanks for coming in, Joe. I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, we're talking about Madden, Joe. What did Madden mean to you, growing up, bro?
I'm gonna be honest, man. My generation was the last generation where you could go outside, but you still had the games, the video games. And my earliest memories, man, was Michael Vick, Madden 04. I was 8 years old. My brother got me that video game for my birthday.
Cheat code.
And yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
That taught me everything. That birthed this, my love for this. It birthed everything, man.
For those who don't know what he's talking about, Joe is saying that Vic on that year's Madden was Bo Jackson on Tecmo Bowl. Basically, you couldn't catch him. You know what I mean? So there was one player on Madden that was a cheat code, and that was definitely Michael Vick. It wasn't fair if you played against the Falcons. It wasn't fair. Just like the Raiders on Tecmo Bowl. It just wasn't fair. You couldn't catch him. There was times where I was Bo Jackson and would run back and forth each end zone to end zone, and they couldn't catch me. It didn't make any sense. It was disrespectful, actually. You know what I mean?
And even the following year, man, they invented the hit stick.
Yeah.
And they had Ray Lewis on the cover. Yeah. That was bad, bro.
Yeah. That whole the remote get to shaking.
Yeah.
Yep. Crazy, man. Madden made sports games what they are today. Everything from baseball, football, hockey, soccer. I have every sports game on my Xbox right now, and I would have never had any of them if it wasn't for Madden.
Now, I need to ask a question as well. Is that because you gentlemen I think that you're like the upper level of the younger crowd that you knew, or I would be sure as Raider fans, you knew who John Madden was prior to the games.
Yes.
Okay. But there are probably like a half generation down from you. If you ask these people who John Madden was, most of them are going to just go, oh, that's the guy that gives us the video games. And that's a shame. That's really a shame.
I studied John Madden before he even had a game. Like I said, I grew up, I was born into a Raider family. So I studied him before I even seen a John Madden football game, before that was even thought of, so it was, but when the game came out, it was like, oh, wow. Like I thought in my head, I'm like, this is a Raiders game. Like I finally get a football game to call my own, you know what I mean? Because I grew up in Northern California. All it was Raiders and Niners. That's it.
And I'm sure Raiders fans' kids who are playing the game today, those kids know who Madden is because their parents would not allow them to not know who he was.
My sons are 8 years old. And when Madden passed, They said not the video game. You know, no, Dad, like like that. They're 8 years old. They don't even know who John Madden. They don't know what he looks like. They don't know any of that. But they heard that and they seen the sadness on my face. They were like, "There's no way." Like, no, Daddy, the video game guy, because they're young, but they know. That lets you know it's like a Michael Jackson kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody knows who Michael Jackson is, whether you listen to him or not.
Facts.
Everybody knows who Madden is. Madden is the Michael Jackson outside of all the allegations.
And by the way, again, if you are watching on Facebook, please go over to YouTube, either at Captain Jack Rackham or Chronicles of the Black Hole. Please subscribe to both. We will have those channels up. If you're watching on Instagram, I had to throw this in there, guys. I'm sorry about the cut. If you're watching on Instagram, please, you're just watching an old fat guy with a beard when you can have 4 guys on screen and comments. Please come over to YouTube if you're on Instagram. Thanks again. Go ahead, gentlemen.
There was a comment that was up that I'd love to scroll up if you could a little bit.
Okay. Which
up 2 or 3 above that, where the guy said, I don't remember who it was, said his father bought him the Raiders DVD set.
Okay, I'm going to try to find it.
Shout out to Raider Moore.
Last name was Moore. Raider Moore.
Yeah. Raider Moore. Okay. Thank you there, shipmate. I will try to find that. Oh, there you go. Thank you there, Raider Moore. Oh, I know. Hey, I know. That's Logan. Good to see you, Logan. Thank you.
Hey, Edward, you can't say that me or Joe never seen him on the sidelines. There's so much footage and so much tape out there. You can't. I may not have seen it live, direct when you guys did. You know what I mean? But I seen everything I needed to see with John Madden on the sidelines. So you can't say that, brother. I seen it. Trust me. I don't think you understand how much of an avid fan I am, not just of this franchise, but of John Madden. So pump the brakes a little bit, brother, on your judgment, because you may have 2 young guys on here that you may think they don't know what they're talking about. But trust me, I study everything Raiders, and I know my brother Joe does the same thing. So,
and by the way, as well, and I said this to other people, Madden used to sneak smokes with Bolitnikoff on the sidelines. They would get into a huddle and they'd like sneak smoke. Regular smokes, folks. Regular smokes. Okay.
Right.
Just need to say that. And they would sneak smokes on the sideline. So that's the way it was back then. But then when the NFL got bigger and bigger in the late 60s, and when they had the Marlboro ads and they took that out, you couldn't even do that on TV. So they couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, and Edward, listen, you've never played the video game. So we're trying to put together all 3 aspects of this. I've never played the video game. Captain's probably never played the video game.
I played it once.
All right. Well, I never got to play it.
Edward, I'm sorry, my brother. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't figure out the date that I was going to come out my daddy nuts, man. I'm sorry. Like I couldn't. I wish I was born earlier to see it. I wish, man. I can't do nothing about that. You know what I mean? So all I know is when I was born and you know what I mean, like I was told about Madden's success, and I went back and studied that man. You know what I mean? So yes, there's no comparison, bro. But come on, man. Like you can't take away the love I have for Madden just because I wasn't there. That makes no sense. You know what I mean?
And Ed, I gotta say this as well. And Ed's a little bit older than me, maybe about 10 years, but Edward, we can't appreciate having never seen Jim Thorpe or George Hallis earlier in this year, or Curly Lambeau or Elwood Crazy Legs Hirsch. And if these names aren't familiar to you, it's because I'm dating myself. So yeah. we can't fully appreciate that, even going through the reels. So, you got to take it with what you got. You got the video. You take what you can get.
But not even that. Look, the other day I did a show about John Madden. All my brothers were there. And guess what happened? 11,000 views. That's probably 11,000 people that never see, or at least 10,000 people that never seen Madden on the sidelines either. So we're raising awareness on this man and his greatness. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, don't judge me because I wasn't there. Just understand that we're all here to basically give thanks and give praise to that man, because to me, he's the greatest coach of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
this is how the legacy will live on through all of us, man.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? But shout out to you. Trust me, brother. I know how you feel. You're like, man, these young pups weren't there. I get it. Trust me.
Ed's a good friend of mine, and he doesn't mean anything really by
No,
it.
I get it. It's more personal to him because he was there.
I got it.
So I totally understand. But I love that kind of like fight. Like that's the kind of people I love having conversations with, because I want them to understand, because of all the stuff that I've been through watching Madden and playing the game, that there is a lot more that we can add to it that you guys can't. You know what I mean? So we all bring in a certain energy to the table to have this kind of show. So shout out to Edward, brother. Trust me, no disrespect at all. I wish I was there like you guys, but that means I have probably about 20, 30 extra years left in my life than y'all old bastards. So
hey, Jack, the link is in the stream, Jack. Just click on it and jump in with us, man.
That's right. I got Raider Gabe that's going to be coming on in a minute as well.
My boy Gabe.
I'm going to wait for Jack to come in, so we'll have a 6 screen. And I heard another ping, so that's somebody else. It's Mode. Mode, hang on a second. I got to bring Gabe, and I got to have Jack Kenna on. But Mode, you'll pop in when graphic pops, so we'll do that if you don't mind, sir. If you don't mind, sir. Oh, Dirty, shoot. You guys are going to make me swear. I almost said the S word. Dirty's about ready to pop in as well, and I don't know how many people I can get in here. So,
ten at the most.
Let's go. Okay, we're going to add.
Why does Gabe always look mad?
Remember, I got to make the announcement. You are watching on Roku TV, so please, for the old man, watch your language. That's all I got to do. That's my paid-for political.
Beep.
No problem, sir. No problem.
We're going to watch our beeping mouths.
I know you were talking to me.
No. And God wants to come in, but God, your devices aren't connected. Try to reload. I'm going to kick you out.
Hey, real quick too, you guys. Shout out to my brother Dirty. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Gabe. They all three have their own channels, man. So make sure you guys all go subscribe to our brothers as well. You know what I mean? For real. So
good looking.
Yeah.
What up, bro?
Yep. I got your text message too, bro. I'm gonna call you. Today's been
You gonna
crazy.
like this idea?
My in-laws just left today, so I was spending a lot of time with my family. So I got you.
And nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Now I gotta ask you, like I said, because we do got a lot of younger folks in here now, and well, Dirty, you're not quite up to the old dude level, but you're like right. You're on the. We love you.
I think I'm in the middle. Yeah, I'm like in the middle of everybody on the screen because I'm 42. So
I'm 40. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm doing the old.
I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest.
That's it. I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna add. And we got God. God is with us. All praise to God, as well. And we got a full 9.
Hey, Jason, this is not a Derek Carr conversation.
What up, Jay?
Jason, just for you. We are watching, and you are watching. Please watch your language, God. Thank you, sir. Now,
I already knew what you was gonna say.
Yeah, AARP is in here. I gotta ask because I want to implement. We've spoken about his record, the fact that he has a close to a 76% win percentage, which is better than every coach ever in at least 100 wins. Okay, we've spoken about how important he was. The one thing that I'm going to ask your impressions of the man as well, but I got to ask this as well. One of the best things I ever saw with Madden was during his induction speech. And I'm sure you guys have seen this as well. He says, with all of the great, and I'm paraphrasing here, with all of the greatness that they have in the Hall of Fame, he says, I know that the statues talk to each other at the end of the night when there's nobody there. I know it's true. And you know what? When John Madden said that, I believe it's true too, because there's so much greatness in that room. You can't say that those people in their aura through the bus aren't talking to each other. And they're giving each other crap. But that
So
was
you
my
so you
last
think
pick.
you think it's the night at the museum over there? You
Exactly.
think when
Exactly. It is.
I'd love to be security, bro. I'd love to be security.
Yeah,
I got
I
my
got a
guard
chance to
card.
go this year, bro. I got a chance to go to Canton this year. That was cool.
Okay, I gotta ask, and Graphic, what if I could, because I do got a big screen. Graphic, what is your, because you asked me this, and I'm gonna throw it back on you, dude. What is your impression or your most memorable Maddenism? And it could be with the game, it could be with what you've seen on YouTube, it could be anything you want. What is the impression or the thing that you will always take about Coach Madden, Graph?
It's funny because we talked about it earlier with Top Beats, because when I asked you guys the questions, it was the adjustments. It was the way he coached games. Like sometimes Top Beats said it perfectly. Sometimes it was two different games. Like as a defense, how do you game plan against somebody that can totally run two different games against you? Going back and watching this film and just the way he demanded respect, the way his players just respected him. The stature of him. I mean, shit. I mean, shoot. I mean, sorry. Hey, put it back up. Put it back up.
Which one?
Leap.
It's
The
real
sign
cool.
that says "Watch your language."
Oh,
I need to see that real quick. But just the aura of Madden. To be honest, I don't really have a specific play or a game. It's just everything he did seemed like gold. From Little Giants, the Anastasia of Puerto Rico, the play that he called, that he gave the kids in the movie. Like, just Madden was just a figure that was bigger than life. And from the video game to the way he called games, to the mind that he had, the science. He had the science of football down to a T. I feel like if a lot of other these new these new coaches in the game got a chance to really pick his brain, they would benefit so much from.
A lot of them did.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the new age ones, because now the game is so different now. It's so different than what it was. But Madden's mind was it was just so great that I don't think it really mattered what generation you were in. I mean, Madden was just a genius regardless. So I mean, there's not really one specific thing with Madden. It's that's too broad of a question for me. I mean, Madden was just that great, the most winningest coach ever in the time span that he coached. Yes, we know it took him a little more time than he wanted to get over the hump and win a championship. We understand that. But when he left, people tend to forget that he left this franchise at the top. When Flores came in and everybody else, he left it up here to the point where the standard was already set. And there you go. After that, 2 more championships.
To YouTube.
And there you go. You know what I mean? So Madden, man, just
Let's not forget he made Fox Sports what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did. He made Fox Sports.
If they never hired him, bro, they would not be the sports network that they are right now, bro. Because before that, nobody was watching Fox on NFL. That shit was boring. We wasn't watching no sports, nothing on Fox. It was dead.
No cousin.
Madden got signed for a $32 million contract with Fox.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
they brought him over. And it's like, what you guys don't even see is like, with Madden, the pass game became big even back then.
Yeah.
Who was our running back in the 70s? It was Monroe. He was nothing. It was the pass game. It's like Monroe. So you think about it, who was our wide receivers? Who was our tight end?
Wait a minute, you forgot about Mark Van Egan.
I was just say
Mark Van Egan came later.
But he was a mad guy.
I have no clue who you're talking. I don't know a guy named Moreau. I know the island of Dr. Moreau.
The sea of hand?
Well, if you're talking your Clarence Davis, Mark.
Oh,
Van
Clarence
Egan,
Davis. I'm sorry.
Okay, Marv Hubbard, or I'm sorry. I was like saying, I apologize. I was like, did I miss something?
No, you got your Clarence Davis. So Clarence Davis wasn't a big running back. He was a small running back.
Right.
But it was our receiving core that led the way. It's like, even back then, it was like wide receivers.
We're saying he made Fox Sports, though, right? Think about this.
He did. $32 million for a year.
But think about this, brother. If he made Fox Sports, you have to say that he helped make Sega. He helped make Super Nintendo. He helped make PlayStation. He helped
He
make
built.
Xbox.
Hey, look,
He helped
EA
do all that.
Sports. EA
Yeah.
Sports was in bankruptcy before
EA
they signed
Sports.
Madden.
Yes, they were. Yeah, so
They were in bankruptcy.
He produced $7 billion a year from
They
doing
were in
Madden football.
California. They were a
7 billion
small
sales.
business. Yeah, you know
So
they
he's
were
like the first person to do 3 generational things. It was like going from being a head coach of an NFL football team to being the best broadcaster ever, and to like even put Madden on the map. It's like everything he did is like he produced more than what he did before.
Before
Everything he did was
broadcasting,
everything
those
he did he was the
commercials.
best at.
everything.
Everything he did he was the best at.
Yeah.
Best video game ever.
The best
Best coach
announcer.
ever. Best announcer ever.
by far the greatest announcer to ever grace the screen.
Ever. Easily.
Okay.
Well, doesn't it kill you guys though? Like he did all Niner games and Cowboy games. It's like, where was the Raider games, dude? I wanted the Raider
He
game for him.
went and did broadcast for the top games. Whoever was
It's all
on top,
Fox.
that's where he was. That's
Top
where he
games
was
of the
sent.
week.
But make
90s
no
was
mistake.
Niners and Cowboys.
Bro, we knew where his heart lied, bro.
But
Like,
look,
at the end of the
make no mistake.
Who was on
called
top at the
no
time?
games.
The Niners and the Cowboys.
Right.
Look,
Remember,
And he made the nation what it is. He made the nation what it is because when he got us that first Super Bowl, our fandom just blew up, man.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to put this in for John Copeland. It's true. The fact that he called the last Raiders Super Bowl, I know it was killing him watching the Raiders just get boat raced by the Tampa Bay Fake Pirates. And I said that correctly, folks, the Tampa Bay Fake Pirates. Okay.
Facts.
I know it killed him, but he was professional and he worked through it because he was a professional through and through, and he did it to the utmost for sure. And again, Madden was also the very first broadcaster to work for all 4 of the networks. All 4 of the networks.
The only.
First one, yes.
He was the only broadcaster to do all 4.
And he would always wear his silver and black whenever he was calling a Raider game. He would never rock anybody else's colors. He would always wear silver and black when he called a Raider game, and he would never make a mistake in any game. But he called Raider games like no other.
Oh, Raider Moore, I was going to tell that story.
That's funny. Madden saw exterminator crew at visitors' locker room, and they said they were killing rats. Madden said he would pay them to feed them instead.
Yeah, he actually, it was the Chiefs were visiting. These guys, he comes out of the locker room, he goes in, he sees these guys dressed as these exterminators. What are you doing? What's going on? And they said, well, we have a rat problem in here. We have to get rid of them. He goes, hold on. Go get rid of them, feed them. And then he paid them to leave. And then when the Chiefs showed up, he walked over to the locker room, knocked on the door, said he wanted to talk to the head coach. And he said, hey, listen, we got a little problem. We got rats in here in this locker room. Just be careful. We're trying to get it resolved. And they were all freaked out.
And it's the same thing he said when the field was watered down.
1983.
That's funny.
Now, I was going to say, Mode, do you have a story that you'd like to impart on us? So I'm going to go from Mode to God as well, because I want to make sure, and I'll go back to Gabe and Joe. But yeah, go ahead there, Graf.
Hey, before y'all do, I got to get out of here. I got to spend some time with the family, man. I appreciate you guys for having me on, man. Shout out to the
Appreciate
chat.
you
Shout
for
out to everybody.
coming.
Make sure you guys all subscribe to our brothers. Hit that subscribe button. Shout out to all you guys. I appreciate you guys. I would stay longer, but like I said, I got a lot going on. I'm leaving Friday.
916, bro.
Appreciate
Love
you
you, man.
coming in, bro.
Is that Kenna?
Oh, yeah, man.
Come on, dog.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on, man. You see what it is, man. 916, man. You already know. My God. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed night. For real.
Thanks again, Graf. We appreciate you being on, brother.
Yes.
So
So we got a space open. If you'd like to come in, I'm gonna put it up the link again. If there's something that you'd like to talk about, or if there is a memory that you have of Madden that's special to you, again, because I asked when Graphic asked me what I remember about Madden was he was animated. You could always rely on John Madden to flap his arms around and gesticulate and go after the referees. To me, I mean, that was wonderful back then because all the other coaches, they were stoic. Madden was not stoic, okay, by any stretch of the imagination. He was animated, and that's why the team would run through a brick wall for him.
I think he still should have copyrighted. Boom.
So, fellas, do you remember the Madden game that he was most proud of in his career? The Bengals. So the Steelers beat the Raiders 2 times over in the playoffs. And it's like if the Raiders would lose to the Bengals, then we can play the Bengals in the playoffs. But he's like, you know what? I'm not going to lose to any team. So, like, just this week coming up with the Chargers, if the Colts lose to Jacksonville and the Raiders play a tie, we don't play for fucking ties, dude.
Dude, watch your language.
I'm sorry. Apologize. We don't play for ties. We play for wins. And you know what? That was a game that Madden said, you know what? I was the most proud of that game there. So we can play the Steelers, who beat us the last 2 times in the playoffs. And then we came back and we beat the Steelers in the playoffs.
And won the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Thank you, OG. And OG, thank you. I love you, bro. So when you come out to California, let me know. Let's hook up.
Well, I'm going to meet up with Dirty. I'm coming out there June. I'm going to be there around the 16th. That's when my youngest daughter graduates, and I don't have to go traveling anymore. But I'm going to definitely. I will let everybody know when I'm going.
Where you coming to, OG in California?
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see if I can con Dirty into making some barbecue, and I'm gonna go over there. No, I'm gonna be in Manhattan. I'm gonna be in Manhattan Beach for my daughter. She lives there. They're graduating there. But
all you gotta do is ask.
I'm gonna be all over, anywhere I can get to. You know, I know Dirty's close by. Well,
yeah, I'm in Riverside, so hit me up.
I'll be the IE, bro. We gotta come towards the beach.
And again, if you are watching on Facebook, please come over to YouTube. I can see your comments a little bit easier and quicker. Please come over to YouTube. Everybody on Instagram, that's on my Instagram, please come over to YouTube. We lost God. Hopefully God will come back. I see Dirty still in there. Again, yeah, I gotta show the comment. We are watching on Roku TV. So, gentlemen, please watch your language.
Yeah, watch your bleep language.
That's right. And again, anybody wants to, if you want to, that's fine. As long as, I had to put the announcement out. I'm just saying, if you want to come in, there are spaces available as well. I put the link up again. Please come over. And again, every time you submit $5 via Super Chat or Super Sticker on the channel, first off, I appreciate that. We appreciate that. You will be in store to be on the prize wheel for Captain Jack's treasure chest of prizes, which is behind me, which is awesome. I would also say I'd show you, but I only have my short shorts on, so I'm not going to show you. I'm not
yeah, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that.
Daisy Dukes on.
So guys, John Madden had 3 rules. You know the 3 rules?
Yes.
Be on time.
Pay attention.
No talking when I'm talking. Pay attention.
And play like hell.
Play like hell when I tell you.
When I tell you to. Hell yeah.
That's right.
Every game time. All these coaches need to do this.
Yeah.
Actually, it was John. There you go, Sharif. John Stockton shorts. Thank you. There. I don't want to get the ladies excited. So I'm gonna sit down in my chair. And one thing that I like about those rules is that Ref Guru, when he was in charge of his IT business, he emulated that. Be on time. Pay attention to the things that need to be taken care of. He extrapolated from that, and then work the jobs that need to be done, work them out. He took the third one and extrapolated. But I'll tell you what, if you follow those 3 rules, there's no way in heck you can go wrong. And that's a fantastic thing. He said, I wanted to have the least amount of rules. It makes it easier for the players to relate and to play hard for you. All those guys that were dictators and had all those stupid rules,
About your haircut, you had to wear a suit and all this stuff.
That's right. So again, it was fantastic. But did I get the who have I not asked about their John Madden Joe? I'm sorry, Joe. Your John Madden memory I'll get from Joe to Gabe, then to Mode, Dirty, who will definitely not swear anymore. I love you, brother.
I will not.
I know you will, but that's it. But yeah, I'm trying to put the users on block that it doesn't say for a report. But go ahead, folks. All that, Joe, your John Madden memory that sticks out in your mind, sir.
I gotta say, boom, man. I gotta say, boom, and seeing him either on plays or just guys on the sideline when he's drawn, on the screen. Fondest memories right there, man.
There you go. Thank you there, sir. Gabe, what about you, sir?
He just made Thanksgiving that much better. To me, Thanksgivings were awesome when you could just watch, you could just listen to John Madden, eat some good food, watch him cut the turducken. There was nothing like it, man. It was football on Thanksgiving was awesome when Madden was around.
Got it. Greater Mode, Shipmate, what about you, sir? What's your John Madden memory?
Playing a lot of the older Madden games when he was still doing the voicing for him. Because playing those games and hearing him do the commentating for the games that I would play, it just made me felt like if I was still. It just made me felt like if I was studying a playbook. It made me felt like if I was trying to.
He was calling your game.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Like that.
There you go. Okay. Dirty, Shipmate, what about you, sir?
My favorite John Madden memory would have to be, and it would have to literally be him being carried off on the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? In his blue jeans, dressed like a blue collar coach.
Light blue jeans, dark blue shirt.
Blue jeans with the was that a sweater or polo shirt?
Yeah,
polo shirt, bro.
I believe it was a polo.
Yeah, it was a polo
with his white tennis shoes, bro. That's my favorite John Madden memory, bro. Because that there was our first Super Bowl victory. You know what I mean? And I couldn't ask for it to happen to a greater coach.
That's it. And who's the gentleman on the bottom?
Jack.
Is that Jack? Is that you, Jack?
It's me, Jack.
Okay, I'm sorry, Jack. I know we spoke before. I'd never had a visual, so I thought it was you, but I wanted to be sure. I'm not going to call you Randy or Bobby, whatever. I'm sure, Jack. And again, with all your good knowledge as well, and again, and pretty much what Dirty said was mine as well. Was seeing John Madden finally win the Super Bowl, because I was basically, he was living my life. I hated every time that we lost all those to the team that eventually won, and finally winning it, I was so elated. And I said that on Graphics Show the other night. What about your favorite moment or memory of the coach there, Jack?
Well, for like you bunch of young kids, like you don't remember this, 75 was actually almost a better year than 76. So I love that team. I love the 76 team. I love all the Raider teams. And I just hope we just get the shit done. Oh, I apologize.
Put the banner up.
You were watching on Roku TV.
Yeah, boop, boop,
technically,
Bob.
technically, the S word is in the Bible, so it's not cussing.
I
Technically,
yeah. Technically, I still have to go to my bosses to say I'm at least trying to get the. So
Yeah.
we
yeah.
love you. And again, if you want to hear us, if you want to hear me curse, check out when I'm over there on Dox's channel.
Tourette's,
Okay,
Captain Tourette's.
Yeah, Captain Tourette's. But unfortunately, I have rules that I have to follow, and I appreciate everybody here. So again,
You
I
get
just
to
have to
edit
follow
these
my boss.
beforehand, right?
No,
Ooh.
Captain B on dogs like bleep 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 bleep.
there is no
It'd be
doubt.
sounding like a
I don't have a 7-second delay. It's live and it's recorded live, so there's
Oh, I
nothing
apologize.
about it. So I just ask on your best as you can. Please remember that. So there you go.
Love that shirt, dirty. It's awesome.
Knock on wood.
Oh, this one? Yeah, I just.
OG, when you come to California, hit me up.
I will, man. Definitely.
Okay. Now, the one other thing I got to ask, and by the way, was there anything that you missed, Daniel? Because I know you do a hell of a lot of research, sir, and I would never want to take anything away from all of the hard work that you do as well. And again, I've imparted some of my color commentary as well. I wanted to make sure that if there was anything that you had, that in there. We got God back too. Good. Thank you, God. Remember, God, you're
as
welcome.
far as the usually, you know me, I do a lot of research on everybody we do. This time I really didn't do any research. I just have been going through memory because there's so many of them. And I will never be able to do this justice with this. I do know one thing. When John Madden was a college coach in junior college coach, him and Pat Summerall were having a conversation. He's like, well, what did you teach over at the school? You couldn't just coach that school. It was all ballroom dancing. And Pat Summerall went, like, what? And John, all of a sudden, John regretted saying that. And so he changed the subject, went on to something else a little while later. And Pat Summerall said, so were you more of a foxtrot guy or a tango guy? And John Madden was like, I think that conversation's over. He busted himself and had to get recovered, and he was room dancing.
Actually, I wanted to make sure, sir, that I was prepared. So there was plenty that I do know about John Madden, but there's something that I did not know about John Madden that I actually two things. Well, I knew the one, or I remembered again reading something, but there's one thing that I read today I had never ever known. I would say the one that I remembered again reading it was the fact is we can thank Dutch, aka Norm Van Brocklin, the coach of the Eagles,
Don't you say
for pushing John, because again, when John went to Eagles camp and he busted his knee and he was trying to do all the things he could to make the Eagles squad, but Dutch was the coach of the Eagles, and he noticed Madden was sitting there in the room watching game film in order to try to help out and do all the things that he did. And Norm Van Brocklin, who is a Hall of Famer, basically said, you're on the right track. And he basically made sure that he not pushed, but not coerced. He massaged that into that love that he already had. So it was to the great Hall of Famer Dutch Van Brocklin that he went on that route. This is something I never knew, is that in the video for Paul Simon, me and Julio down by the schoolyard, John Madden is in that video teaching kids a football play. And I'm like, wow, I don't ever recall that. So I'm going to try to go back on YouTube and find the video.
I don't remember videos being out at that time. I thought video came out in the 80s.
Well, video was in the with the MTV stuff, but there was video. There was video of certain songs. They just didn't have the platforms for it until later on. They would take the song and they would make videos the aftermarket. So they have the video of the Paul Simon song, Me and Julio Down by the Madden is there teaching plays to the kids there. Hey, God.
Okay, that song came out before I started watching football.
Okay.
And John Madden wanted to teach like football. He taught it in college.
Yes, he did.
And it's like all he cared about was like teaching football. It's like when they want to do the NFL Madden, they're like, oh, we can eliminate the offensive lineman because the technology wasn't there. He's like, no, you can't do that. It's all you got to have, like, you got to do the whole thing. He just wanted to teach football. That's why he got a contract with Berkeley.
Yeah.
You got an echo there. But OG, yeah, they reserved video for John Madden, Paul Simon, and like Neil Armstrong back then, brother. They had video, but we just couldn't see it.
I don't know. We had a black and white TV. I don't remember.
Actually, there was another story that I also read today, and I don't know. It was stated in the Sunday night game, and I don't watch the Sunday night game because I'll tell you 4 words why I don't watch the Sunday night game. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth. That's all I have to say. That's the reason why I do not watch those, or if I do, the volume is turned down. Okay.
Chris Collinsworth. Oh my God, I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, and he's a Gator, and I can't. And I'm a Gator, but and I have no problem saying that he is the only Gator that I can think of that I can't stand. And of course, we got Al Michaels, the Raider hater. But the one thing that Chris Collinsworth stated and I didn't catch it, but I read the post interview, was that he asked Collinsworth asked John Madden, what were the important aspects of doing a broadcast? And John Madden told him, and this was a lot like what Jack was saying, watch the offensive line, because that will tell you basically all you need to know at that point in time, where the ball's going, what is the most important things, because the defense has to react and the offensive line is going to be doing all that it needs to do. It'll be the primary focus point for you. And he said that he took that advice to heart. And that's why, and I will say this, is that, Collins, God, I can't stand him as an analyst, but anything that he had that got him his job, because he's professional, although, trust me, I think I can do a better job. But it was because of John Madden doing that. And I'm going to get my 9 screen back. I'm gonna add Raider Twan in here as well, but not quite yet, Twan. But I appreciate that. Hey, God, did we talk, or did you get a chance to before you blew all your your breakers? What's your best, favorite, or most memorable thing that you can talk about with the great coach John Madden?
Yeah, well, no, that's tricky. Here's the thing. He meant so much to so many people across so many different walks of life, genres. There's nothing that I can pinpoint, you know what I'm saying, that inspired me, to where I could just say, oh, this one's better, this one, what have you. But like I was trying to say earlier, and you said it, it was, to me, I think I would say I'd answer that question if it was me, John Madden, and it was 1958 when the Eagles decided to take a chance on him for an offensive line. I think that really sparked, because you got to think about it. Back then, players, you think about, what are they making now? 50, 60,000 a game if you're sitting on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Back then, you might not even get paid, and you could get hurt and never work another day in your life. You know what I'm saying? And nobody else is going to help you. So I think that was the moment that I'm glad for. You know what I'm saying? Is the Eagles gave him a chance.
That's right. That's right. And Tiffany, I will get to that after we pop in with Raider Twan. Twan, good to see you there, brother, in there. I will answer that question for you, Tiffany. And Tiffany is a great lady that is a Raider fan living in and around Cincinnati, and a great lady. I know her from her husband, who's a sailor like me, a retired Navy commander. Awesomeness to Tiffany, but I will get to that question. Twan, the question remains: what is your fondest memory that you can impart upon us of the great John Madden?
See, I was, I'm. Well, let me start off and say, what's good, fam? To each and every one of you guys, I'm thankful and
What up, Twan?
grateful to be here.
What's up,
Good to
Twan?
hear it.
How you doing,
Pop,
brother?
Speak
pop,
up.
pop your mic up there, Twan. We can barely hear you, brother.
Oh, I said, thank you, and I said, what's good to everybody. I wanted to, I came in late, um, to Raider Nation, so I kind of missed John Madden on the field. Um, my memories came from when he was, in the booth, and of course, playing the video games, and from those two different, um, you know, phases of his career, um, made me want to go back and watch, what I'm saying, the films on him being a coach, and just him being a leader of men. What I'm saying, a leader of players that, what I'm saying. We always talk about the phrase, running through a wall for somebody. Um, he knew how to, get his players to a position where they were willing to run through that wall for him. Um, and I caught that through film. So that's kind of my fondest memory is, of course, seeing him, be the great commentator that he was, in football. Um, and then, of course, what he did in his with the football game. But to go back and say I have the passion and the want to study or to watch, when he was really a coach, for this great organization that we truly love, is just it's just a buildup of everything together for me. Is my fondest memory of John Madden. Let me say this, and I really say this, wholeheartedly. I felt, um, that with the Shield JM on our helmets, it made our helmets complete. Um, when I think about the Raiders, just personally, um, and I have to look at the iconic names, I think the first two iconic names, of course, is the great Al Davis, and right behind him is John Madden. So to have, Al on one side of the helmet and have, John Madden on the other side of the helmet, I feel like our at this point our helmet is complete. So I'm glad that, the organization and whoever the powers that be allowed for us to express that, on our helmets.
Yeah, and I tell you, I was kind of really pissed off that they told Djax that he had to change his shoe.
Oh yeah.
When the NFL says we are going to honor John Madden around the league, not just at the game I was at in Indy with the Raiders, but around the league, a moment of silence for a man that is undoubtedly did more for the league than most of the heads of the league did combined for years. And yes, I am biased, but I can guarantee you what he did as a coach and a broadcaster and a media giant with all of the stuff that came out in the video games is more than all these guys. In fact, he probably did more things on accident than a lot of those people did on purpose. And they told Djax to change his shoes. Really pissed me off. but I apologize for that as well.
Uh,
One thing I will say as well. Actually, I lost. Okay, well, somebody else because I lost
Well,
my.
I almost forgot about that, man. I'm glad you brought that up
I'm
because
glad you brought it up too. I don't
Yeah.
apologize for
none
that.
of the media,
It's like
Nope.
none of the media covers it. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw it just because I'm a diehard Raiders fan, you know. But I mean, I saw it, but then I kind of put it behind because you know what? Let's get in there, let's win, let's just win. But I'm glad you brought that up, man, because that's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
That
I
makes
agree,
sense.
brother. It's like we shouldn't apologize for that. It's like for D-Jax wanting to wear the Madden shoes.
Oh, I'm not.
It's
Should
like
have warned him. He
respect
should have
that.
warned him anyway
Respect
and
it.
made them kick him out. He should have
Yeah.
warned them anyway and made them kick him out.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm
It's
not
like, you know what? It's like
apologizing for that.
there's no reason why you should take those shoes off. It's like, you know, you watch the Madden video and like all Madden, there are commissioners on there. So if the commissioner's on there, why should you take off to respect the all Madden shoes?
Yep. Paying respects, man. Like wow.
Okay, and now I remembered what my next comment was. I have to go back to Tiffany and answer the question about Collinsworth and Al Michaels. And I'm sure everybody knows that Al Michaels is a Raider hater, and it goes back to many years. But the big impetus of the hatred was when Al Michaels in a Monday night broadcast brought on Marcus Allen for an interview while he was still a Raider. And Marcus Allen put the Raider organization and Al Davis on blast. And he goaded him to do that. And Al Michaels is a fecal product, and I'm keeping it at that to maintain the language issues. Chris Collinsworth, who is also a hater because he's a sycophant to Al Michaels, and he has all of these other issues about where he is a drunk, manipulative, woman grabbing fecal matter as well, with very little talent. And I mean that, with very little talent and a voice that is grating. I can't stand listening to either one of them. And maybe that's just my opinion of why I can't stand Chris Collinsworth. And again, I'm a Gator, and that I will never say that I can say that to any other Florida Gator. But when you sweep all of the crap that Chris Collinsworth did, that was swept of his ways of being an abusive womanizer, and it just gets swept. And the fact is, I don't think he's talented. He got the job because he was a remarkable receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's all I will say. Okay, but then you even have his son that got his job because of his last name, although his son actually has some talent, and that's my spiel on that. I wanted to answer Tiffany's question. I'm glad I remembered that. So there you go. No,
All right. Listen, we've all paid our tributes to Madden. Okay. We got an important game coming up this week.
There you go.
And there are a lot of guys criticizing our current coaching staff, and I understand everybody's entitled to their opinion, but there's one little thing I wanted to bring up. There's I got into a discussion today with someone who was like, oh, Gus Bradley needs to go, blah, blah, blah. So I went and did a little research. And I wanted to bring something up for you guys you can wrap your heads around. In the last 3 weeks, our defense has gotten better. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Big time.
So let me bring this up to you. There are other teams that are pulling it tighter towards the end who are starting to move up, like us, right? Okay, so there's defensively, there is a team in the NFL in the last 3 weeks that's only allowed 15.6 points from average from the last 3 games. They're first in the NFL. There's a team that has only 170 passing yards allowed. and they're first in the NFL. And then there's a team who has only 76.3 rushing yards allowed, and they're first in the NFL. Let me tell you the names of these teams. The Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Las Vegas Raiders. Right now, for the last 3 weeks, we are the number one defense in the NFL. What a time to get hot. This is why I couldn't figure out, how do we keep losing the turnover battles and win the games? That's why we're the number one defense in the NFL right now. We get Darren Waller back and our offense opens back up to where we're scoring 28 or 31 or whatever. That makes us the most dangerous in the NFL.
At OG, hey, at the same time, right now, it's all about Nate Hobbs. Is he going to play?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's
court date
yes.
isn't until May. He's playing the rest of the season.
Yeah, and the
That's
thing
big.
is the fact is
it's not big till next year.
they're probably going to tell Nate Hobbs, and rightly so, because again, Nate Hobbs, even after the incident with Ruggs, was the one that we saw that made sure he said, well, I usually get Uber and I'm doing all this, and he's a rookie. And yeah, he screwed up to a point, but I will say this, he at least didn't drive. That's the at least part. But what he should have done was he should have left his vehicle, got out of the vehicle.
But what you know what? It doesn't matter until
throw
he's
your keys in the back
proven
seat
guilty.
so
The
you can't
NFL's
drive.
doing nothing. Nobody's going to punish him until he's proven guilty, and that ain't till May.
Right.
Yep.
And the other thing is that, by the way, and somebody was telling me by Nevada standards, not that it's going to get swept, but it's going to be minimized to a point where it because he wasn't driving. We don't know whether he was in the driver's side or the passenger side. We just know he was sleeping. We don't know whether the keys were in the ignition or not, because all of these little pedantic points are things that are going to be brought up, highs or lows. So I'm thinking from what I've been told, it's not going to be a major thing. And the first court case is going to be in May. So yes, he will play, but they're going to keep him under tight wraps. Basically, he said, dude, you're on probation, like double secret probation type of stuff. Not as bad as they had in Animal House, but dude, you gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself and go from there. So I think that he will be okay. And we need Nate Hobbs because he is on the all rookie team for players. Him and Trayvon Merrick.
We need him anyways.
Yeah.
The kid's a baller. He's a baller.
Right, but none of this gets resolved until he's proven guilty, and that's going to be a court, and that's not until May.
Exactly.
Right.
And
Same
it's
with Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs took forever too.
Ed Winchell said, OG's personal optimism really scares me when it comes to the Raiders. Why? I'm not being optimistic. I'm looking at numbers, Ed.
And looking at facts, it's a misdemeanor.
Well, and here, I mean, I can't talk on this subject. I've had 4, unfortunately. I haven't had the
God?
yeah. I haven't had the best upbringing.
We all have.
But so I'm gonna tell you this. You know what I'm saying? So what I used to do when I was younger is when I'd go to the club, you know what I'm saying, and then I'd take my keys and I'd hide them from myself. I'd put them like underneath the passenger side carpet. You know what I'm saying? So when I come out buzzed, I'd be like, "Where's my keys at?" And I couldn't find them, so I just leap it off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but when I moved up to Maine in Patriots country, yeah, I got caught a few times, and I shouldn't have, and I'm not proud of. But here's the thing, though. It's a misdemeanor. He didn't do the right thing as far as whatever. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't drive. He didn't. It's all good, man. And like you said before, his trial's not till May, so it's probably going to get tossed out before then.
Yep.
It's not a rug situation. It's not You know, let's go ahead and cut him right now.
Bro, it's a slap
You know
on the
what I'm saying?
wrist. First
Well,
Yeah,
if you,
because I hate to be like the one of experience, but like this like when you start off with a misdemeanor, it's only gonna get better from there. If it would have been charged with a felony at first and then went down to a misdemeanor,
Right.
maybe he has
He
a chance
may
of
have
facing
pled
charges.
to a misdemeanor, but if
Yeah,
you get charged with a misdemeanor, yeah, your plea is what you really want to spend money to get the jury out here. They're like,
exactly.
nah, you know, we can't prove it. So, you know,
yeah,
Most
and
likely
but
will be thrown out.
and here's the thing, and
you got to remember as well. 1 second there, God. You got to remember that Josh Jacobs had a legitimate DUI,
yes,
a legitimate DUI, and he
And
got
got thrown out.
nothing.
thrown out exactly. Well, and here's the other thing that I wanted to touch on too, because I mean it's not politically correct, but it's I mean, like I said, I grew up in Pensacola, Florida. I grew up in I'm literally in northern effing Maine. I didn't cuss, brother.
I
Um,
got you. Thank you there, God.
I'm in northern Maine right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in Patriots country. If Tom
I
Brady is passed out in a
Now
car,
you're cursing. Now you're cursing. Curse word. You will get my blood pressure up. I will.
Those are the worst
yeah.
bad words in the
If you
book.
have to, it's prima tama
All
or
right.
the princess.
All right. Well, let's just
Not
say
like
if
I'm just
let's
sorry.
say, all right, brother, I got you. If Gronkowski gets pulled over in Maine, you know what I'm saying, sleeping on the side of it, they're gonna be like, "Hey, Gronk, wake up, brother." You know what I'm saying? You need me to take you home? That's the only thing that I don't like about Las Vegas is because
Yep.
they have. I mean, I'm gonna be brutally honest. Like Denver, Colorado, you think somebody's calling the cops on Peyton Manning for sleeping in his car? No. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. It's not about, oh, Vegas is 24 hours. No, it's about the cops and everybody in Vegas. You got tourists, you know what I'm saying? All these people.
I'm doing an
I
interview.
mean,
Man, the people
that
in
is
Colorado will call on themselves. It's not about that. It's about there's no
it is about
tax.
that, dude.
So it's about the young players, like, making millions of dollars, can control themselves. Control
No,
yourself.
no. Do you
Hard.
realize I literally have uncles, cousins, brothers? I can give you 1,000 different scenarios where the cops have brought them home, you know what I'm saying, after like crashing into a deer. You know what I'm saying? Like they
It's
literally
crashing
brought
into a deer. I worked with the insurance with the military. It's
dude,
like,
that you're not getting the point though. You're not getting the point. And that's why I didn't want to bring it up is because like that reaction. I'm not
No, I know
saying
what you mean.
it's right, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying this is what happens if you bring a team to Vegas is because they got no loyalty, you know what I'm saying? Like my
There's
loyalty
just random
runs
people.
deep.
They see somebody in the
there's
car, they're
not
gonna
the
call the cops.
Oakland loyalty.
Yeah.
It's
Oakland was loyalty because they
Raiders.
knew their players. They knew that was a community that knew their players that loved their team. Vegas, they're there for the casinos. They're there to party. They ain't there
Attraction.
for the Raiders.
Yeah. And I'm
And
not saying it's right or
Protect your field.
wrong.
that's a
I'm
good
not saying it's
segment.
right or wrong. I'm just saying that's literally what's happening. You know
I
what
got
I'm
to
saying?
address something. There was a comment made by Ed Winchell saying that I'm always wrong. Ed Winchell, you always think they're going to lose, and I always think they're going to win. I'm 9-7, and you're 7-9, bro. Think about that for a minute, okay? Because
There you
and you're
go.
telling me I'm always wrong. You always
What's up,
saying, "Oh,
buddy?
we're going to lose, we're going to lose, we're going to lose." I always say, "We're going to win, we're going to win, we're going to win." My record's a little better than yours this year.
OG, I respect your opinion, bro.
I
Always.
I didn't put it up because I'm not going to instigate a fight. But what I'm saying,
No, I'm just pointing out the facts. I'm not going to pick a fight. I'm just pointing out the facts.
I'm just saying. I'm not. Why even bring it up? I will say one thing is that there was a. I think it was it Greg that was saying it? That was it's Greg, right? Who's in the corner below Joe?
That's me, Gabe.
Gabe. I'm sorry, Gabe. I'm gonna call it old dude disease.
Well, he's got us up like the Brady Bunch, so you're like Greg Brady here. So
Greg would be where I am, man. If we're doing great Brady Bunch stuff. But the one thing that you said, and it's a fantastic segue, is you were talking about Vegas. Vegas doesn't know. And that is a fantastic segue for something that we need to talk about. It is incumbent. It is incumbent. It is what, people?
Incumbent.
Incumbent upon those that know to teach the folks that don't what to do and what not to do at the stadium. And I do it at every game that I'm at in Vegas. I say it. I say it. When we have the ball, shut your flapping mouth. Because
I almost snapped on a Raider fan at the first game of the season because they told me to sit down, bro.
Oh well,
they wanted to watch the game. I was like, what the?
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing as well. I stand the entire game except for when I have my cramps or whatnot, and then I will sit down. But I will stand, and if anybody tells me the same thing, and I am next to the black hole, I'm black hole adjacent next to the tunnel where the
Raiders. You got to say it politely. You got to explain it.
And that was what I was getting to next. Is that folks in Oakland, in Los Angeles, Raider fans stand the entire game.
You sit down during commercial breaks. That's it.
Right. And you know what? There are people, even folks that like Pablo Navarro, a.k.a. Twos, he never sits down. And I love him.
No, and it was literally third down. You know how when third down on the defense, you get up. You get up, get loud. You know what I mean? It was third down. People were telling me to sit down. I was like, are you serious right now? You should be standing up yourself.
I stand at home for all the games.
There's a bar in Syracuse, New York that has 16 rooms. And fans from both teams go into each room for the games. Well, back when, okay. There was a room, the Raiders room, there were no chairs because we didn't sit down, period. That was the way it was. And they're in Syracuse. They don't know anything about Oakland, but they don't sit down during the games. Now, today, with my back, I'm sitting down.
Actually, Jimmy Farrell, you're wrong because you haven't been to Vegas yet. There are people that have no clue. Sit down like it's a damn cricket match or a polo tournament, and there are horses out there, and they're sipping their little cocktails like they would in Weinerville.
They're doing basketball chants. They're saying defense. Like what the hell?
Yeah, Jimmy Farrell. No, we need to teach these people. That's why I said it is incumbent upon folks that know. Quiet when the offense is on. Loud as hell when the defense is there, especially on third down. And when you need to get folks riled up, you do that. And I'll be honest, when I do my little spiel, and there are plenty of people with other colors around that are not silver and black, and I say, folks, when the offense is on the field, and I look right at them and I point out and said, you know what? You guys can get as loud as you effing want. And it usually it breaks the ice. It breaks the ice, and I'm talking with them, in a way, that I'm making sure that they know what we do as Raider fans, and it breaks the ice so that they know, hey, I'm an old F, but I'm gonna have a good time with you. But that's the way it should be. Do it respectfully. Do it with fun, but teach the folks what they're going to be. And nobody has told me to sit down any game this year.
You know what I hated is I heard someone saying they were going, "Let's go Raiders." No. We all know what it is. Can we do it one time?
Oh,
One,
heck out, Captain.
2, 3.
And when
Raiders.
I go, yeah.
There was nothing that in Oakland. Sorry.
I agree.
Oakland was not like that. Not LA, not Las Vegas. It was Oakland.
LA, you was getting stabbed in the stands.
Well, if you weren't wearing Raiders colors,
yeah.
It's like the comedian that talks about the Raiders. Hey man, effing Raiders! Raiders! I'm sure you guys have seen that. It's friggin' wonderful. It's like, yeah, man, if you're in Oakland, man, they stab you in the parking lot in preseason games, like that. It's true, but it's not Oakland, guys. So we need to teach the younger folks. We need to teach the younger folks so that they got an appreciation. By the way,
what's funny
thank you for popping in. If you're on Instagram, pop over to YouTube. If you're on Facebook, pop over to YouTube. We appreciate it. If you like what you see, throw a like button on there. And every time you give a $5 donation on the channel, you are in for an entry in the Captain Jack's Treasure Chest of Prizes. Sorry, guys, I had to take care of some admin. We got about 15 minutes. Go ahead.
You do a show weekly with Violator on Wednesday nights, right?
Yes, sir.
Ref Guru. The first time I met Violator, there was bleachers in the end zone in LA. There was no, there was right, it was before the black hole, before they moved back. But there was a bunch of us psychos in the bleachers. And I remember being up there one time, and I first met Violator, and we're sitting there, I was like, hey, how you doing? And I was in my Beetlejuice costume. And I was like, and at some point, I was like, we made a great play. I was like, saving that for later, Chuck. And he busted out laughing because that was a popular movie at the time. and then he did one of these. We did a side slap thing. It was before high fives and all that. And I was talking to him about it on a different show. And he goes, I remember that. He goes, you were sick.
That was cool, man.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I used to have season tickets. I'd be in the bleachers. It was fun. But then the next year, my boss got me for a Christmas bonus 7th yard 40-yard line tickets, 7th row. So I wasn't down there anymore doing that. But it was my Christmas bonus, bro.
That's cool.
Do you have a favorite game that you went to, OG?
It was Minnesota Vikings in LA Coliseum. The Vikings come out of the field. They're doing their whole, right? The Raiders come out marching in step, 4 rows deep each. Dun, 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 dun. Now, here was the coolest part of that game. We smacked the Vikings 28-0 or something like that. The cool part was the halftime show. It was AC/DC doing Back in Black, and it was badass.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that was my favorite game. And that I went to.
That's awesome.
Long time ago.
Okay.
That's awesome. So, fellas, I'm going to be out. You see this right here? 00, Jim Otto. I love the show. I watched it. That's awesome. John Madden show. I love it. I've always wanted to be on you guys' OG shows because you know what? There's not many of us OGs left. I don't go on Graph. I don't go on Honcho. I don't go on Raid, even though they're like some of those guys are local. I come on your show because, like, you know what? I love, being OG. It's like there's not many of us left. I mean, literally, we're all dying off. So it's like the young kids don't know this shit.
Yeah, well,
so I appreciate what you guys do.
You are watching on Roku TV, and we appreciate your watching.
Yeah, man, you gotta embrace everybody, every fan though, man, because they're the ones that are gonna keep it going.
Always. I want all the
Oh,
young
yeah.
kids to know what's going on with the Raider Nation. We
Yep.
are the Raider Nation. We are all one family.
Yeah, but well, that's why we need you to pop up on like Graph, you know what I mean, and spit that knowledge like the two OGs up top do. You know what I mean? Like we don't know everything, and when God forbid the day you guys go, bro, that knowledge goes with you if you don't leave it behind to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause I love
So
hearing
I'm not,
OG and cat stories.
I'm not trying to crap on this show or anything like that. But Docs normally has 500 to 600 watchers. That's
He
probably
does.
400 people that want to hear your story. You know what I mean? But so if you don't jump on and you don't give it to us, man, who's hurting in the end? The nation is hurting in the end because
Dirty.
we
You
don't
see
know.
me on there? I salute to you, brother.
Yeah,
It's like Jack
I know
Kenna's
that.
on there.
I
I
know that.
salute.
I know you. I got nothing but love for you. But I'm just saying, hop on the Docs every now and then, man, and spit some of that knowledge that you have for us. You know what I mean? Because we
Love those
need it.
stories, man.
We don't know everything. ESPN doesn't show us everything. I can only dig in the crates so far. You know what I mean? But it's not going to tell me what took place in the stands. It's not going to tell me how people felt in the parking lot leaving the game or before the game.
Man, the parking lot fun. The pregame, the postgame. Wow, it was a blast, man. It was
I hate
totally
that
a
about
blast.
Vegas, bro. They try to when we went to the Miami game, they try to trespass us at the end of the game because we started barbecuing again. The cops started trying to trespass us at the end, bro. They said, "Put your stuff away, or we're gonna trespass you."
That's some
I went
garbage,
out
man.
there for
Exactly,
the
bro. And
home
that was not
opener.
Jay.
Man, Captain and like OG Oakland Coliseum is like you come out of the parking lot and want a BBQ. Oh, it was all on. It was like it was fantastic. Just a big, happy celebration.
Yep.
So we talked about all tonight was Captain Jack's Madden. It's like Madden is the OG of the OGs. It's like we love the coaches that we had. We love the coaches. But there is not another coach that has done what that Madden's done. There's not another player like Jim Otto or Tim Brown. Those are the people that like represent this team. And there's not another player that they can like separate them from anyone else. It's like I don't give a shit about Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders don't represent Bo Jackson, and even Marcus Allen is like probably number 2, probably in the history. God damn, that dude's a beast. I love Josh Jacobs, and I hope we could get him for like a decent amount of money. But man, these kids were like awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean,
what,
man.
guys? Here's the thing. My biggest wish for most of you in this panel, everybody who's younger than me, my biggest wish is that we become that dangerous team this year and we start that new dynasty. And 5 years from now, you're not going to want to hear my old bullshit BS stories. You're going to be living in your own dynasty, stories that you'll pass on, and my show becomes obsolete. And you know what? I'm good with that. I'm great with that because I get to watch some really great football.
Hey, and
Hey,
Vincent,
OG, look at this.
one second, guys.
Who
Vince,
is this right here? OG,
Vin-
Captain Jack,
Jim Otto.
yeah,
Jim
Vin-
Otto,
Vincent.
best player that has ever played for this flipping team ever, bar none.
Again, thank you.
We saw the Jim Otto show, and I thank you for that. There's not a better player than that player.
I was going to say thank you for watching on Roku TV, where we try to watch our language here. And there was an announcement that says Raider fans can't be PG. Well, I beg.
Oh, it's a struggle. The struggle is real.
It's a real struggle.
I beg to differ with you. If I can do a radio show for the Armed Forces Network in Guantanamo for 2 hours every week, yes, we can. And when I work for a network that tells me, Jack, we love your stuff, but you just can't F-bomb all the time. And that's what my boss says, because I am being broadcast on Northeast Streaming Sports. Yes, I can. And when Northeast Streaming Sports is being broadcast on Roku TV, it is incumbent and behooves me to remind people to please watch your language. So yes, for the most part, and I appreciate everybody here, because for the most part, we've been very, very civil in our language tonight. So
Yeah, but it's bleeping hard, Jack, and we're bleeping.
I get it, but the person was saying
I'm
that
bleep faced.
we can't do that. Yes, we effing can, because all you have to do is say "Futhermucker." Okay?
Or like that one commercial. You guys remember that one commercial? That one where that girl was like, "You liquor."
I remember that.
I remember
So
too.
I just wanted to address that, because we've had a great time tonight and we were civil. And yes, because we want to make sure that this is imparted upon the younger generation, where maybe even though they hear the language out there, we want to make sure it gets out to more people. So I appreciate your comment, but I just wanted to address it. And I needed to show this as well. Won the Super Bowl when his players were lifting up, and Connor said John had won the Super Bowl. He looks like, he looks like a split watermelon. And one of the great things about, and I'm not sure if we went over this, was that we lost somebody. I don't know who it was. We lost somebody. I apologize. But yeah, he would look like, who did we lose? Oh, we lost Jack.
Jack.
Okay. And
But
again,
I did say he was leaving.
yeah, I'm not saying that to Jack, I would kick Jack out. So hopefully Jack's still watching. That wasn't directed at you, Jack. It was directed at the person that said that. But
No, I think he said he was leaving. He said he needed to go.
Okay, great. And we're gonna be kicking it in about 3 minutes, anyways. I got to do my
For
outro.
sure.
I got to cut it at 2. But it's a great time to have with all of us, and we can do it. We can do it because it's the knowledge that OG and Jack and me and Dirty that we like to impart. And it's some of the younger stuff that we get from the younger generation that we love, because we don't know about, well, Dirty knows about video games, but Daniel and I don't know about video
and then
games.
that's why we needed these younger guys to come in and explain that aspect of it and take over the show a little bit, because of the fact that I'm not going to sit here and make stuff up and sound like Eric Cartman, who forgot to study for his book report. Okay. I want like people who know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? So that's why we asked a lot of these guys to come on. We asked Docs, we had all you guys to come on who know the video games. Like, we want to share that side of it too, because it's incomplete without it.
That's right. I wanted to address it, and we appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody being here. Trust me.
Yep.
And we want more folks to come in, and I appreciate Docs giving us the opportunity for inspiring the show to inspiring OG, who asked me to be in with him, because if it wasn't for OG, Daniel, I wouldn't be here. I had my own show, but I was very proud that Docs asked OG and OG asked me. So you go through the hierarchy. We love this. And I love the fact that I wouldn't know all the people I have here if it wasn't for the intercommunication that we have, because that's what the nation is. It's
Docs asked me to do a show, OG show, and I went, yeah, I'll do it, but I'm doing it with Captain Jack if you'll do it. And he went, perfect. That's a great idea. That's all. It was just advice, man. It wasn't like rules. It was just advice. And it was good advice.
It's like Pat and John.
How fitting is that? Because Madden was
I will, Jack.
That's it. Hey guys, I got to start letting folks go, because again, I got to do my outro. I want to thank, and I hope I don't forget anybody. I want to thank Graphic, who was on earlier. I want to thank Jack Kenna, who just recently split, and I want to make sure I get everybody. I got Raider Joe, top right corner. I got Gabe. I got Raider Mode. I got God. I got Twan, and I got Dirty Raider. And for all the folks that were commenting, I don't think I screwed any of that up, so that's good.
Yeah, that's when you know. That's when you know you're big, though. You got God on your show.
and bots and
Yeah.
trolls.
But gentlemen and ladies, I want to thank the ladies that were here. I know Vicky was here, Sarah was here, I know Tiffany was here. We love everybody here, and we're always here for you. We thank you for being on the show.
We're grateful.
Yeah, we are thankful, grateful, and we love it. So please come back again. Again, I got to start with the outros, guys. If you can, pop out. Again, thanks for all that you've done. We appreciate you being here. Make sure you're here tomorrow as well on the NFL Nation Live with myself, Violator, and Ref Guru. Please see us there. All right. Thanks,
Skipper.
You got it.
Yes, Cap.
OG, stick around for a little bit. We'll do the outro. Again, thanks again. That got dirty there. Got Twan. Thanks again, there, folks. Been wonderful. Again, great times had by all. We appreciate you. And thanks again, folks. We'll see you for the next show. Remember, NFL Nation Live tomorrow. NFL Nation Live on Ref Guru's channel. That's Wednesday. Thursday, come back for You Don't Know Jack About Sports. And on Sunday, I will be doing a show early on Sunday, probably around 10 o'clock Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern time, because we have the Sunday game. I might come on after the game, but you will see my Sunday show early on Sunday.
And Thursday night, I'm going to be doing a show with Raider Joe on his channel, Dos Pendejos in the chat room. And I got a flex show that just pops up whenever nobody's doing content called Welcome to Grandpa's House.
Hey, thanks again there, Daniel. Be well, and we'll see you next time. We're both going to backstage, and we'll see y'all. It's great hanging out, learning what we can impart upon you. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.